The Christmas surprise that exposed my husband to the internet. They say Christmas miracles come wrapped in joy. Mine came wrapped in lies, unwrapped by strangers on the internet. The night my Christmas surprise went viral, I thought love had finally chosen me. By morning, the comments told me the truth my husband never would. This isn't a story about revenge fueled by anger. It's about truth, patience, and a payoff so poetic, even silence screamed justice. Before I continue, please subscribe to my channel to see more interesting stories. Thank you. Now back to my story. The gift that broke me. Christmas Eve in Aspen, Colorado, feels like a postcard pretending to be real life. Snow fell gently, like it knew how fragile I already was. I stood in the living room, hands shaking, holding the final piece of wrapping paper. My surprise. My sacrifice. My proof of love. For 3 years, I had saved quietly, skipped vacations, worked overtime, smiled through disappointments, all for this moment, surprising my husband, Marcus, with a gift he never thought possible. When he walked in, boots dusted with snow, his laugh filled the room. That laugh used to feel like home. I pressed record. Okay, I whispered, forcing a smile. Merry Christmas. He opened the box. His face collapsed into shock. Tears welled. He dropped to his knees. The internet would later call it the most emotional Christmas video of the year. But what I felt wasn't joy. It was fear, because his reaction felt rehearsed. His hands trembled too perfectly. His voice cracked at the right moments. And when he hugged me, his heart wasn't racing. Mine was. Overnight famous. By morning, the video had 3 million views. I woke up in our Chicago condo to my phone vibrating like it was alive. Notifications stacked endlessly. TikTok, Instagram, YouTube Shorts. This is real love. Protect this woman at all costs. Men like this don't exist anymore. Marcus leaned over me, grinning.
We're trending, he said.
Can you believe this? I watched him soak it in, fame clinging to him like a tailored suit. Interviews came in, brand emails, a local morning show. He kissed my forehead. You made me look like a king. Something in my chest twisted. Because kings don't flinch when their phone lights up at 2:17 a.m. But Marcus did. He turned the screen away from me and smiled anyway. The comment that changed everything. The comment appeared under a repost on X. Simple.
Calm.
Devastating. That's funny. He gave my sister the same necklace last Christmas. In Boston. I stared at it too long. Marcus laughed beside me, unaware. Internet trolls, he said casually. But my hands were ice cold. I clicked the profile. Real photo. Real name. Family posts. Wedding pictures. A woman who had no reason to lie. Then more comments followed. Wait, isn't that Marcus Brooks from Seattle? I matched with him on Hinge in October. He told me he was single. The room felt smaller. The internet was assembling a puzzle. And my husband was at the center. The man I married. I met Marcus in San Diego 6 years ago, during a season when I still believed love was enough. He was charming, intentional, always traveling for work, always present until he wasn't. I replayed every excuse, every canceled holiday, every late-night business call. The comments kept growing. Screenshots.
Dates.
Locations.
Boston.
Seattle. Miami. Atlanta. Women didn't sound angry. They sounded fooled.
Just like me.
Marcus wrapped his arm around my waist. People are jealous, he said softly. Don't let them poison this. But the poison had already entered my bloodstream. And I didn't confront him. Not yet. Silence is strategy. That night, I made a decision. I wouldn't cry. I wouldn't scream. And I wouldn't expose him. Not immediately. I replied to comments with grace. I smiled for interviews. I let Marcus enjoy his spotlight. Because the internet wasn't just watching him. They were watching me. And I realized something powerful. The same platform that crowned him could also be the stage where truth took its bow. I opened a new note on my phone and typed one sentence. Let him hang himself with his own lies. Christmas lights glowed outside our window. And for the first time, I smiled and meant it. The inbox I wasn't meant to see. Fame changes people. Marcus started sleeping lighter, guarding his phone like it was a passport to another life. So I stopped asking questions and started observing. One afternoon in Los Angeles, while he was in the shower preparing for a podcast interview, his iPad lit up on the coffee table. Same Apple ID. Same carelessness. An email preview flashed. Miss you already. Can't wait for New Year's in Miami. No name. Just a red heart. My pulse didn't spike. It steadied. I opened the inbox. Folders.
Dozens of them.
Each labeled by city. Seattle.
Boston.
Miami. Dallas. Phoenix. Inside each folder were receipts, flight confirmations, hotel bookings, mirrored conversations. Different women. Same promises. Same pet names. Same man. I took photos. Not screenshots, photos. I wanted timestamps, reflections, proof that couldn't be edited away. When Marcus walked out, towel around his waist, I smiled. You ready to be America's favorite husband? I asked. He grinned back. Always. Playing the perfect wife. We flew to New York City for a morning show appearance. Bright lights. Fake snow props. Applause that felt too loud. The host asked, Elena, how does it feel knowing millions admire your marriage? I squeezed Marcus's hand. It feels humbling, I said. Love is about trust. Marcus kissed my cheek. The audience melted. But I noticed something. His smile faltered when the producer mentioned viewer comments. Because the comments were evolving. Now people weren't just accusing. They were connecting. Women found each other, compared timelines, shared stories in Reddit threads and private DMs. I watched silently as a digital support group formed, without me ever saying a word. Marcus began asking questions. You still reading the comments? People are weirdly obsessed with us. You believe me, right? I answered carefully. I believe actions tell the truth. He laughed nervously. I had already planned my next move. The woman from Boston. Her name was Rachel. She messaged me at 2:03 a.m. I don't want fame. I just want you to know I didn't know about you. We video called the next day. She looked tired, honest, hurt. She showed me messages, voice notes from Marcus saying he hated long-distance marriages. A photo of him wearing the same sweater he wore Christmas morning. I didn't cry. I thanked her. Then another woman reached out. Then another. 7 by the end of the week. I created a private folder labeled Truth.
No edits. No dramatics.
Just facts. I realized something chilling. Marcus didn't love any of them. He loved control. And control only works when silence does. The interview he shouldn't have done. A streaming platform offered us a Love in the Spotlight special, filmed in Nashville, Tennessee. Marcus said yes immediately. I hesitated just long enough to seem unsure. During filming, the interviewer asked him, how do you stay faithful with temptation everywhere? Marcus leaned back confidently.
Easy.
I've never needed anyone else. I felt the room tilt. The camera cut to me. Elena, the interviewer prompted. I smiled calmly. I think honesty always finds its way out, I said. Marcus stiffened. That night, he confronted me in the hotel room. You're acting strange, he snapped. Are you trying to embarrass me? I met his eyes. No, I said. I'm letting you be yourself. Setting the stage. Back home in Chicago, I made my final preparations. I registered a website. I organized timelines. I contacted a legal advisor, quietly. Most importantly, I wrote a statement. Not emotional. Not bitter. Truthful. Marcus slept beside me, unaware that the internet had already chosen a side, not because they hated him, but because truth resonates louder than charm. I scheduled one final post. Not yet published. Just waiting. Christmas had made us famous. New Year's would make us honest. And honesty, I learned, is the most elegant form of revenge. The crack in his voice. Marcus slipped during a live Q&A in Austin, Texas. It wasn't dramatic. It was subtle. Someone asked, "What's the hardest part of being married in the spotlight?" He hesitated. Just half a second too long. "Distance," he said. "When work keeps you apart." I watched the chat explode. Didn't he say they travel together? Why does he sound nervous? Later, backstage, he snapped at the producer. I didn't approve those questions. That night, he paced our hotel room like a trapped animal. "You're too calm," he said suddenly. "Why aren't you defending me?" I folded my clothes slowly. Because the truth doesn't need defending. He stared at me, eyes searching for something. Guilt, maybe.
Fear.
He found neither. The woman who ruined the timeline. Her message came from Phoenix, Arizona.
I'm sorry.
But I think I'm the overlap. Her name was Lena. She sent screenshots with dates that cut clean through our marriage, hotel bookings on nights Marcus had sworn he was with clients. Then came the photo. Marcus asleep beside her. His wedding ring on. I sat on the floor for a long time after that. Not crying. Grieving the woman I used to be. The one who trusted without needing proof. Lena didn't want revenge. She wanted release. I told her, "You just gave me the missing piece." When love turns into evidence. I began organizing everything like a documentary. Locations.
Dates.
Patterns. Seattle always followed Chicago. Miami always followed Nashville. And Phoenix always followed me leaving town. I realized something devastating. He didn't cheat randomly. He planned. I created a visual timeline, clean, factual, impossible to argue. Marcus noticed my distance. "Are we okay?" he asked one night in Denver. I looked at him carefully. "We're honest," I replied. He exhaled, relieved. He thought honesty was something you said. He didn't realize it was something you prove. The internet starts asking me questions. The comments shifted. No longer praising him. They were watching me. Why does she look sad?
She knows something.
Protect Elena. I stopped responding altogether. Silence, I learned, creates space for people to think. Marcus, meanwhile, grew louder. Defensive. Oversharing. He posted old photos. Love quotes. Anniversary captions with fresh hashtags. The louder he got, the more people noticed the cracks. He was performing. I was preparing. The date I circled in red. January 3rd. Our anniversary. Marcus planned a live stream titled Love Wins. He told me it would shut the haters up. I nodded. Inside, I circled the date in red. Because that would be the day I stopped protecting his image and started protecting my truth. I scheduled my post. Not emotional. Not reactive. Just undeniable. The internet loves drama. But it respects clarity. And clarity was coming. Love wins until it didn't. January 3rd arrived wrapped in artificial smiles. We were in Atlanta, Georgia, seated beneath soft studio lights. Marcus squeezed my hand as the live stream countdown began. "Ready," he whispered. I nodded. 3, 2, 1. "Happy anniversary," Marcus said to thousands watching live. "Our love has been tested, but..." I posted my link.
No announcement. No caption.
Just a single word. Timeline. Within seconds, comments shifted. "What's the link?" "Wait, is that dates?" Those cities matched the rumors. Marcus kept talking, unaware. And trust is what keeps us strong. My phone vibrated violently. The internet had entered the room. The moment he knew, a producer rushed toward us, pale. "Marcus," she whispered, "you need to look at this." He glanced at his phone. The color drained from his face. He faltered mid-sentence. "Elena," he laughed nervously. "What is this?" I looked straight into the camera. "It's the truth," I said calmly, with dates.
Silence.
The chat exploded. Screenshots flew. People recognized hotel names. Flight numbers. This wasn't gossip. It was evidence. Marcus tried to regain control. "This is private." No, I said gently. You made it public. Watching a mask fall, the live stream ended abruptly. Clips circulated instantly. Marcus's stammer. My stillness. Brands began pulling posts. Interviews canceled. His followers plummeted by the thousands. In the hotel room, he collapsed onto the bed. You set me up, he cried. I stood by the window overlooking downtown Atlanta.
No, irrablia.
I stepped out of your shadow. He begged, apologized, blamed stress,
Fame.
temptation. I listened and felt nothing, choosing dignity over destruction. I released my full statement the next morning.
No insults.
No name calling, just facts, timelines, and one sentence at the end. I wish healing for everyone affected by this, including myself. The response was overwhelming. Not applause, respect. Women shared their stories. Men thanked me for showing accountability without cruelty. Marcus posted a video apology. It was removed within hours. Truth doesn't need background music. Walking away in peace. I flew alone to Santa Fe, New Mexico.
No cameras. No interviews.
Just quiet. I signed the separation papers without shaking. My lawyer nodded in approval. That night, I sat under a vast sky and realized something powerful. Revenge doesn't always look like fire. Sometimes it looks like light, and the brightest light exposes everything. When the noise faded, the internet moved on the way it always does. A new scandal replaced mine within days. Hashtags faded. Clips slowed. Marcus's name stopped trending. But real consequences don't disappear with attention. In Seattle, his consulting contract was terminated. In Miami, a speaking event was canceled. In Boston, a nonprofit quietly removed him from their board.
No announcements.
No drama, just absence. I returned to Chicago and packed what was mine. I didn't rush. I didn't cry. I touched objects gently, like they belonged to a past life I respected but no longer lived in. Marcus tried calling. I let it ring. The message I never expected. 3 weeks later, an email arrived. From a publishing agent in New York. I represent a platform interested in your story, not as scandal, but as structure. How truth unfolded. How silence spoke. I almost deleted it. Then I reread the subject line. Integrity as influence. They didn't want gossip. They wanted perspective. For the first time, the story wasn't about what he did. It was about what I chose. Seeing him one last time. We met in St. Louis, halfway between our new lives. Marcus looked smaller. Not physically, emotionally. I lost everything, he said quietly. I studied him.
No, irrablia.
You lost access. He asked if I hated him. I shook my head. Hate requires energy, I said. Truth doesn't. When we parted, there were no tears. Just closure. The payoff no one saw coming. 6 months later, my documentary premiered. Not a takedown. A case study. It broke records. Universities requested screenings. Therapy groups referenced it. Couples counselors used it to discuss accountability. The final scene showed no villain. Just timelines. Just facts. Just consequences. Marcus wasn't mentioned by name. And that was the deepest cut of all. Because obscurity is harder than criticism. The moral of the story. It's Christmas again. This time, I'm in Vermont, snow falling softly, my phone untouched. I no longer chase validation. I create clarity. My Christmas surprise went viral. But the comments revealed his secret. And the truth revealed me. Stronger. Quieter. Unafraid. The internet didn't destroy my marriage. It illuminated it. And in that light, I chose myself. Sometimes revenge isn't loud. It doesn't scream. It doesn't shame. Sometimes it simply tells the truth and lets the world do the rest. Thank you for listening to my story. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share my videos.